Today I want to talk about the most irritating things that I have experienced since being celibate for a little over a year. The most irritating things that I have experienced since being celibate for over a year is, I would say, people who are not necessarily supportive. And by people, I mean women. Okay, I mean women. So I really want to just talk about this concept where it's like, I guess I thought when I became single and when I chose to become celibate, I really thought that I could trust my decision with the closest women in my life, with like the women in my life. And unfortunately, I was wrong. No, I wasn't wrong in the sense that there are, like, for instance, I have two sisters. My sisters have been very supportive. They have been so supportive. My little sister, she even told me that she was proud of me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. Now, mind you, my little sister is like 10 years younger than me. So it was definitely like a moment for me. But so the two closest women in my life, definitely, they were supportive. But I guess I thought that support would kind of be known or would kind of still continue on with the other women in my life and in my family. But I'm learning that that is not the case. Now, the thing about this whole celibacy journey and everything is people, or the thing about them not being supportive is that they don't do it in a very overt way. They tend to do it in a very covert way. Like, they do it in a way that's like, they'll say things very underhandedly. They'll give you backhanded compliments. They'll slip things under, just under the cracks or underhandedly about your decision and about how you have determined to live your life. Now, this is the part that gets to me the most, because I'm not a very covert type of person. I will call things out. I'll call a spade a spade. Like, I am not the type of person who will sit there and just kind of, I will let you know exactly how I'm feeling. That's what I'm trying to say. I will let you know exactly how I feel and exactly how you're making me feel. And I'm realizing that it's very interesting because I just never thought that I would have to experience this with women with this decision. So I'll give you a little background of me as well. So not only am I celibate, but I also do not drink. I haven't had alcohol. I've been drunk 2 times in my life, twice in my entire life. But I do not drink because I don't like it. I think the way how it made me feel, it was disgusting. I hated it. It was not for me. I decided after the second time, I was like, this is not something that I want to experience ever again in my life. And I made the decision from that day on to not have alcohol ever again in my life. And I didn't. I don't drink. Like, it's just that simple. And when you don't drink and you tell people that you don't drink, the way how people react to you not drinking is real freaking crazy. When you tell people no to an alcoholic beverage, when they will try so hard to shove alcohol down your throat. I kid you not, they will try their best. They will do everything they can to get you to drink alcohol. Like, you think it's peer pressure, but I've literally recently mentioned to someone that I didn't drink, and he literally told me, well, I would pour you a drink and you just wouldn't know that there was alcohol in it. And I was like, well, thank you for letting me know that. I guess I will never take a drink from you ever in my life. And it was just like this weird moment where, like, what, did you just threaten me? Like, are you okay in your head? Like, is there something wrong with you? Um, and it was just kind of like that moment where I have not had alcohol in years. Like, we're talking more than half a decade. Okay. And every single time I go through this situation where it's like I do not drink alcohol and I tell people I don't drink alcohol, I either get one or two reactions. It's like, okay, cool, we're cool. But a lot of times it's, oh, it's like underhanded things, or people trying so hard to get me to drink, or people trying to shame me into drinking. I've had, those games where people are, those games where people drink alcohol and stuff. Well, I will sit there and I'll be like, okay, well, I'll drink ginger ale, like, oh, and I've had people straight up be like, no, you can't play this game because you don't drink. Like, sweetheart, it's a freaking game. Like, it's a game. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you serious? Oh no, you can't play this game because you don't drink alcohol. And I mean, so serious about it. Like, literally just kind of shun and ostracize me, intend very hard to ostracize me from the situation or from the group just because I do not drink. That was on one occasion. On another occasion, I've had people like literally just be like, oh, just take a sip. Just take a sip. Like, why can't you just take a sip? So many things where it's like my decision to not drink alcohol really turns them off as individuals, and it makes them want so badly to get me to drink alcohol. I've had a person pour me a drink even though I never asked for a drink. I never asked for it. And they knew I didn't drink. They were very aware that I did not drink. And they intentionally poured a drink without me asking for it. And it was alcoholic. And I smelled it and I was like, yeah, I'm not drinking this. And I put it down and I was just like, I mean, I didn't even say it out loud or whatever, but it was just like, yeah, like, I know you're trying to get me drunk. Like, I know that that's what you're trying to do here. But I've had those instances where it's like, I say no to alcohol, but I never thought that I would have those instances when it came to me saying no to relationships and to intercourse, especially when it comes to women. No man on this planet is aware of my decision to be single and celibate. No man. I have literally not told a man on this planet. I haven't even told my own father. I have told no one on this earth that is a man that I want to be single and celibate. Now, literally, I've told the girls in my family. I've told my, just a particular friend group. I've told the women around me. And literally the reaction where it's like they will try to shame me for deciding to be single is absolutely disgusting. Now, the only other time I've experienced something like this was when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I didn't want to date. I never wanted a boyfriend when I was a teenager. I literally had this woman in my family who literally sat there and looked at me and she said, oh, are you gay? Like, is there something wrong with you? Why would you not want to date? Mind you, I was 16. Okay. I was 16 years old and it was just like this weird situation and this weird encounter for this woman to kind of look at me and ask me that question, because I was just like, no, like, I just don't want to have a boyfriend. Like, that's just not what I want. That was me as a teenager. Now, fast forward to now, I'm in my 30s, my early 30s, and I have made the decision to be single and celibate. I don't want to date. This is just not the time right now in my life. Like, there are so many other things that I want to do other than give my life to a man. Just so many other things that I want to do. And I kid you not, the women around me, the way how they react is absolutely crazy. I've had a woman who is a lesbian woman look at me and straight up, she was just like, has tried very hard to convince me that I need to get into a relationship. And I'm like, why are you even talking to me about this? First of all, you are a lesbian woman. What does me dating a man have to do with you? Like, if anything, you should be the one that understands. You don't want to date men. And I'm sure you've had people in your life try very hard to convince you that you need to date a man, but you've stood your ground. Obviously, you're a lesbian woman. Like, what are you, like, what are you doing? Why are you trying so hard to convince me? And it's like, oh, well, you just need love and you just haven't met the right person and you just this and you just that and you just need, and it's just like, sweetheart, like, I said no. I said no. Respect it or get out of my life. Respect it or get out of my life. And it really is that simple. And I've had family members who will look at me and who will sit there and say, and I'm single and celibate, oh, she just hates men. No, I'm just not focused on them right now. Oh, well, if you had a boyfriend, then this, that, and the third, then you would this and you would that. And it's like, sweetheart, I haven't even been single for a long time. Like, I haven't even been single for a good stretch of time in this world. And the first thing you want to do is just try to convince me that me being single, that me being celibate is somehow is just such a problem. And I really think about it and I wonder why in the world the two are correlated. The two meaning the concept of me being someone who doesn't drink and also me being someone who is single and celibate. And I really am trying to understand why is it that in this world, people cannot just be happy for people. I have never, like, I don't judge people. When I'm around people who drink, I literally am like, woo, like, I'm excited for them when they get their alcohol. Like, I'm like, girl, go ahead, pour up. I offer to be designated driver because I know I don't drink. So I'm like, yo, like, it's cool. I'll be designated driver. Like, I am supportive in their endeavor to want to do whatever they want to do, as long as they're safe, right? Like, as long as you're being safe and as long as you're not acting a fool. Like, if that's completely different though. But if you're safe and you're being responsible, like, yeah, like, cool. Let's, like, look, you got it. Do you. I'ma cheer you on. I'ma hype you up. You got it. Right? When it comes to women dating, I'm like, yo, enjoy your life. Do what you want to do. Have fun. No, it's currently not for me. It's not what I want to do right now. But I can look at you and I can tell you have fun. I have literally explained that to all the women, to the individuals who have mentioned these things to me, who have told me these things where it's like, oh, you know, you're just this or you're just that or you just hate men, you just this. Like, no, I'm perfectly happy with you doing your stuff and doing your dating and doing what you want to do. But please stop trying to get me to be where you are. Like, I don't want to be where you are. I'm okay with you being where you are, but I don't want that for me. And it's like, I don't understand why people can't grasp in their brain. Like, it's like everyone's so obsessed with comparing themselves to other people that when they see someone else on a different journey than them, they constantly have to say, oh no, this person needs to be on a journey like me. This person needs to be where I am. This person needs to make the same decisions as me. Like, it's like no one knows how to say, wow, this person's making their own decisions for their life and it's working for them. And I'm making my own decisions for my life and it's working for me. And we can sit here and live in harmony with one another and be happy. And that is one of the things that I have really truly learned about being single and celibate. It's that people do not know how to be happy with you. And I really, really want to even stress I theorize, right? It's my theory, okay, that it's because they're not happy with the decisions that they're making. All the people that try to get me to drink when I clearly am like, yo, it's just not my thing. It's not what I do. It's like, oh no, if I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole, the whatever bad path, quote unquote, because I really don't think it's bad at all, but go down this path of whatever this is, you need to come with me. It's like misery loves company. And I don't understand why. Why are you miserable and making these decisions? Why are you trying so hard to convince me that I need to be on the same path as you? It doesn't make sense. What I'm really starting to learn from this is that the word no is probably the most powerful weapon a woman can yield. And I kid you not, it's something that needs to be studied, like psychologically studied, which I'm pretty sure there are plenty of psychological studies on this concept where it has to do with control and where it has to do with manipulation and everything. But when I tell you, and coercion, okay, but when I tell you the word no is the most powerful weapon a woman can have at her arsenal, because and now I'm realizing that it's not even just towards men. It's towards everyone. The concept of you saying, no, this is not what I want. No, this is not what you're going to do. No, this is not what I want to do. I respect the fact that you want to do it, but it's not what I want to do. The concept of saying no is really something that gets to people. It gets to people a lot. And it really is the main way that you as an individual get to take your power back. Because when people see that you are able to stand on business with your no matter what, you're able to go through the lonely nights, the sad times, the cries and whatever by yourself, and still say no the next day to having a relationship. They look at you with resentment because they know that they can't do that, because they know that you doing that only empowers you more, makes you stronger, rather than you depending on the things and the vices that they depend on in order for them to get through life. And they start to feel some sort of resentment towards you as an individual because you are so capable of standing your ground and standing in your truth and setting your boundaries and not letting anybody cross that boundary. You are so capable of doing that, and they are not, and they hate it. They cannot stand it. No is just so important as a woman to be able to say. Our boundaries are so important for us to have, because when we are able to say no and to say, yo, this is not for me, it's just the main way we take our power back in this world that's constantly trying to take it from us. Another thing that I want to mention is how I am perceived because I'm single versus how I am perceived, how other women are perceived. Now, if I critique anything that have to do with men and women, if I critique anything that has to do with men, I'm automatically seen as the girl who hates men. Oh, I'm the problem. You hate men, blah, blah. Or, oh, she's the problem. She hates men, blah, blah, blah. That's why she's single. She's bitter. She's angry, yada, yada, yada. I have 2 friends who are in relationships right now. One literally says the most outlandish things about men, says some of the most craziest things I've ever heard said out loud about men. She has a boyfriend. Another is married. Both of them are in relationships. Me, I'm not in a relationship. I'm living my best life. But as soon as I make the critique about men in any single way, I am looked at differently because I'm single. It's like people would rather you being laid up on your back for a man and have resentment towards that man that you're on your back for, rather than sitting there single by yourself. And yeah, even if you do have your critiques or whatever the case is, who cares? You're not involved with one of them. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. People would prefer to watch you on your back with one while you are resentful towards them, rather than you being single and working on yourself and healing from whatever it is that you are healing from. And I'm really starting to learn just how much people's perception of you changes when you are single. People's perception of you changes as an adult. Because like I said, I had a good understanding when I was a kid, at least. Because I was very adamant as a teenager that I didn't want to be in a relationship and I wanted to be single. Throughout my high school career, I was not necessarily following the crowd, I guess you could say, and getting involved. I was very, very much so head in the books, everything. And it really bothered some of the people in my extended family circle, I guess you could say. Yeah, it really bothered people. And now, as an adult, I'm starting to experience the same thing, but tenfold. Like, it's like people will attack you, like straight up attack you for deciding to keep your life to yourself, to keep your body to yourself. And I mean, I guess I expected it, but I didn't expect it from women. That was why I literally said to myself, I wasn't going to tell men about my decision, but I didn't mind telling the women around me about my decision because I felt like they would be supportive. But now I'm realizing and I'm learning, no, you probably should have kept it from everybody, because everybody seems to be on this, oh no, if we go down, you got to come with us. Like, I'm not, like, we all got to go down the crap hole, whatever that this life has. And I find that very interesting. Yeah, I find it very interesting. I just never thought in my life that I would experience that in terms of being single from and an adult being able to choose what I'm choosing from women. And I expected it more from men. So I kept that information from men. I kept that information to myself from men. I haven't let men know anything about, I haven't dated, so I haven't had to mention anything about, I'm celibate, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to date. I don't want to have anything to do with anything. And it's not because, I hate them or not or whatnot. It's just because I have other things to focus on. Like, there's literally so many things on this planet that I need to focus on. I don't have the time. And I don't want to. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If other women want to do it, I totally support that. There are plenty of women in the world who are still getting married, who are still having children, who are still dating in this climate that we're in the environment that we're in. They're still dating. They're still using the apps. There are plenty of women on the planet who are out here wanting to be loved, wanting to get love from men, wanting to be married to men, wanting to be in relationships with men. Why is it that when one woman takes herself out the picture, it is a problem? That's all I have to say.